Please read the disclaimer. XRP just in: Iran has been attacked. Israel and the US have jointly attacked Tehran. Earlier this morning, there was some sirens I heard, and then we got to our phones a push notification telling us that we need to install the app that gives you notifications and not, go on Saturday trips. And of course, I went to the bomb shelter, closed the window, and the crypto market, of course, reacted to this, selling off. At first, we didn't know what was going on. Last time, the government also did this, where they attacked during the night. Actually, it was about 3 or 4 in the morning. They send the push notifications to all the phones. It was interesting that they did it today on Saturday because half of the country keeps the Sabbath, meaning that they don't turn on TVs, they don't have their phones on, and things like that. So it's interesting that this happened now on Saturday morning. But on the flip side, everybody's home, so it's easier. People aren't at work, so it's easier to maybe maintain the order, right, of the people. And first, the message came out from the defense secretary that there had been a preemptive attack. And now reports are coming out that it was a joint attack with the USA. So it wasn't anything that was done all willy-nilly. Maybe, who knows? But preemptive attacks, meaning that they probably, right, we don't know yet, but it probably means that they went after the high-ranking officials in the Iranian government, maybe the Ayatollah himself, Khamenei. That's what the thinking is. Try to do that without and showing, hey, we can get to you. Your air defense system, it's not worth anything. We can strike in the middle of Tehran like that if we want, and just disarm, no news, sign the deal. This is like maybe a warning, right? Of course, the market has reacted, but not too extremely. We'll get to that in just a second. The crypto market is the only market, but we've seen the crypto markets tank a lot, in more percentages in the past. So I think that the market is like weighing in what's going on here. There hasn't been anything out from the White House just yet because it's the middle of the night, right, in the US. So it will be very interesting to see what happens here. We're going to keep safe, as always, and we'll see what we're going to see. Now, from a market standpoint, if this is just a swift attack here and that's it, and they're going to wait and see, then the market probably won't react too bad to this, right? There might be a little bit of a dip, but the market will probably bounce back after that. If this is a full-scale thing and then suddenly more countries come in and suddenly, I don't know, China, Russia, like who knows what could happen. Turkey, we don't know, right? So that could be to the more extreme extent, and then the market would react, to that. So right now, again, like I said, the market took a little bit of a dip there. When the sirens, it took actually a few minutes, right? Because I heard the sirens, and then it was a little bit after that we started seeing the market kind of sell off a little bit, and it was about a 5% reduction here for XRP in the next 46 minutes. Also, you can see here Bitcoin, but we've seen more extreme movements on headlines. So if I don't know if the market was anticipating this or ready for this, or maybe just not a lot of leverage right now to the long side because we were anticipating this, because we were waiting for this. So I remember I told you when we had that one good day on Wednesday, I was like, oh, hold your horses. Bitcoin is now lower than it was at the beginning of that Wednesday, right? So XRP, right, it's lower than it was in that beginning of that Wednesday when we had that pop. Again, I told you it was because of Circle earnings, not because of Jane Street. And so now we're in this situation where we're going to see what happens here. We're going to see what develops here for the markets. It's probably, will put more fear in the investors, right? We're in double digits still, 11, but I'm thinking that if this continues by tomorrow, we'll probably see us in one digits back again. And so this is the current situation right now. Again, you can take advantage of this. People have taken advantage of it in the past. If the it's swift and it happens, and it's over in a week or two, then the markets might react in the short term. But long term, this could be seen as opportunities. This is what we've seen in the past. Again, as always, I don't know what's going to happen. And of course, this video is for educational purposes, for news purposes, for entertainment purposes, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Very, very important. So we'll see what the markets eat out of this, how they process the information that's coming out. There could be some changes in the next coming hours. Again, you can see this video here of the report, and you can see it says Israeli media reports that one of the airstrike targeted the presidential headquarters in Tehran. Iran's Ministry of Intelligence was also targeted. This is a joint operation between Israel and the United States. So it's not something that Israel decided to do by itself. And I think maybe that at first, maybe it was like, oh, what are they doing? But there's no way that they would do it by themselves. I just read something interesting from a few hours ago before the sirens, talking about the F-22s and how there was high probability that something would kick off because the F-22s, they can't be outside too much, right? They have a special alloy, right, that makes them so stealthy, and they can't stay outside because I forgot the word, but the thing that they're made out of, it needs to be in a special temperature regulated aircraft carrier facility. And so right now they're outside, and they're in a base in the southern of Israel, and they can't stay there for long. So the person was saying that there's high probability that something's going to happen fast because they can't leave them out there too long. It will cost too much money to repair them after. And then it was like an hour later, we got the sirens. So, it is what it is. We'll see what happens here. I actually, before this all happened, I was planning to talk about and make a video how AI just prevented a potential XRP hack. I was, preparing the video. A serious logic error in the proposed XRP ledger update was found by an AI before launch. If activated, the bug might have allowed massive exploit that could have drained funds without private keys. So good that AI is catching this. And going forward, I think that the AI is going to be, it's a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it's going to create security problems because people are going to be creating things with AI, with Claude, and the code might not be as good as possible. There might be security problems there. I've heard some software managers, I'm in a few groups, right, because I used to be a software developer, that are complaining that there's a lot of redundant code, there's a lot of functions that will never be called, and that the code is just being created, and then it becomes very hard to maintain and add. But we'll see. And so this is, but on the flip side, it can find problems with human code. So it's always good. And so that happened with XRP. Also, there was this soundbite from Brad in XRP Australia there. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Technical difficulty time. Here we go. And this is what I wanted to play this soundbite for you.
Anyway, he comes up to me and he says sorry. He comes up to me and he's like, okay, so I'm sorry. I was wrong. And you guys have done an incredible job. And it's kind of weird that it had to happen at the White House, but I think if we stay the course, we keep doing what we're doing, if we focus on utility, I'm incredibly optimistic about the road ahead.
Yeah, what I love about this story is that we took the longer path, but that was the correct.
So this is Brad regarding Gary Gensler coming up to him at the White House and saying that people are saying it's not officially confirmed. Brad was referring to Gary Gensler as the clip was cut out. So anybody that was there, so he says he referenced Gary Gensler. Yeah. So this is funny, of course, but it is what it is. People make mistakes, officials make mistakes. And in the end, the thing is that XRP Ripple was able to, move to the next phase, was able to get out of that black cloud. And right now, again, the crypto market and XRP, it's all trading to the same cadence, to the same drum. Back before November of 2024, XRP kind of had its own cadence, its own movement, which was okay, right? But many times, for example, XRP would go up and the market would go down, and it had its own kind of like groove. Right now, a lot of what happens with XRP is algo related, okay? So it's for better or for worse. And so right now, the crypto market is moving according to mostly news, sometimes manipulation. And again, we'll see how this plays out. I'm kind of patting myself on the back, regarding the Jane Street situation where we had one good day and a lot of channels and a lot of Twitter accounts and all that were like, oh, that's it, we're going to the moon. And I was like, oh, wait a second, right? There's still a lot of factors that are on the table that are, bad for the crypto market and, Iran, the Clarity Act, things that we haven't solved yet. And so to say, oh, everything's dandy now, everything's great, I was against that. Again, those of you who have been subscribed to the channel and keep coming back and keep watching, so you know this stuff, right? And I don't know how many new people we get every single day. It's probably not a huge amount, just because of the algorithm and how content is being pushed out. But it is what it is. I can only do my job the best of my ability. Hopefully, I'll be able to continue to create the videos. Twice a day. I can manage it. Even with the kids, if we can't leave the house or something like this kicks off, and it's going to be more extreme than last time. Who knows? But this time, the U.S. is here. There's tons of planes. There's tons of the war aircraft carriers and the warships, and it's not the same as the 12 days previously. But maybe on the flip side, Iran becomes more aggressive. Who knows what could happen here? We just have to stay safe. Try to minimize our exposure to the outside. But again, I explained last night that we have like 12 minutes, and you still have some time, so you can go like to the supermarket if it's close by and things like that. But you don't want to do anything that would have a huge amount of people outside without any possibility of getting to a shelter. So it is what it is. Hopefully, we'll get through this. Hopefully, the markets will get through this. And again, it might be an opportunity just crypto wise if the market does pull back and it gets resolved swiftly, right? Because right now XRP is under $1.30. Bitcoin could drop here, in the next coming hours below 60,000. I mean, that is a possibility. Right now, mostly it's the Asian markets that are up, right? Some European markets, some people in Europe maybe are up, but it's pretty early. Like it's probably like 6 in Europe right now. And the US, it's nighttime. California, it's probably like 12 a.m., somewhere around that time. So it's not that late, but so far the market's sold off, but nothing too extreme. Like I said, again, maybe by the time you're watching this, we're recovered, or maybe we're dipped down more. I don't really know how the markets are going to react to this. Maybe President Trump is going to tweet something in the next coming hours, and then we'll know a little bit more. So it's gonna be interesting to see how all of this situation develops and plays out over the next coming hours, and we'll see. History has told us that usually these things, the market reacts extremely, and then it kind of recovers over the next few weeks if it's not WW3. If WW3 happens, then all the cards are off the table. We don't know what's going to happen, and then the markets will be the least of our worries. Right. But again, you can have preemptive positions open if that's what you want to do, like insurance positions. Again, everybody has to think about that. I just saw an episode of Third Rock from the Sun. I've been watching that with my wife. We've been rewatching it. So funny. But in the episode, Dick, right, the the high commander, right? He did not have insurance on his car. And then, he said, wait, he said, can you pay something? And then if not, only if something happens, you get the money. And he's like, what a scam. I have to pay you before it happens. So same thing, like you pay your insurance, nothing happens, and then the money just goes. But if you have a car accident, then, their insurance kicks in. If you have a health problem, the insurance kicks in. Maybe you don't have. Right. Same thing with if you open, insurance positions, maybe the market tanks, maybe it doesn't. Right. And so you might open a position and that position gets liquidated, or it gets, has no value, or whatever. But that's the price you have to pay to say, okay, if the market does this, if the market does that. Some people will use this, some people won't. Again, it's up to you. It's your prerogative to do what you want and what you don't want. Okay. So that's very, very important to remember. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment in the comment section. And just if you want to support, you can hype up the videos, drop a super thanks, check out the links in the description down below to the exchanges that are our affiliates, and see if any of those interest you. Again, if you want to open up a short position or a long position, maybe you want to buy the dip. Again, it's all up to you and decide what you want to do. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. And like I always say, let's make a lot of money.